Local community leadership and planting native trees. These are two things we love to see in our reforestation efforts, so much so that the Plant with Purpose program is designed to encourage both. But are they ever at odds with one another? Like, what if the local community wants to plant another tree species?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Let's get into it, but first let's explore why these approaches matter. Planting native trees is important. When it comes to reforestation, you can actually cause harm by planting the wrong tree in the wrong place. You might introduce a species of pest that disrupts the local food web. You might unintentionally introduce a species of tree that consumes way too much water where it's scarce. Ecosystems are complex networks of relationships, which is why native trees are great. When a tree is indigenous to an area, you know it's been designed to thrive in that location while supporting the other things that live there. Another important part of our reforestation efforts, local community leadership. Our efforts to restore watersheds and forests happen in partnership with local communities and are led by the people living there. It just makes sense. To these rural communities, reforestation isn't something that happens to them, but because of them. And as they take ownership over their forest's well-being, we see long-term care and investment in the trees. Trees survive for the long haul. Other harmful practices stop. To our team at Plant with Purpose, community leadership has always meant letting the local communities have the ultimate say in how reforestation happens. And this includes what species are being planted. So, can this still go hand in hand with our hopes to see more native trees? What if there are other incentives to plant other species? Here's what our Ethiopia country director, Engida, had to say about how this happens in his work.
So in every activity, the community are in the driver's seat. They are the one to decide. But, the facilitation, our role is facilitation. Then the native seedling trees are, they have their own benefit, they have their own advantage, they have their own use. We just discussed with the community. Now they started selecting seedling seven. Which seedling are important for communal land? If you see the community nurseries, majority of the trees, the seedlings are this gesha. It's a local plant. So they are deciding, and also they have the wisdom, to select. The approach is, people are stewards of nature.
Equipping people with the knowledge and skills to make informed decisions about their land makes all the difference. And this happens at Plant with Purpose's farmer field schools. In these settings, farmers often learn by experimenting, planting with two different methods or two different species side by side to see the difference. These farmer field schools are about peer-to-peer learning, meaning they're not learning skills from an outsider but from their neighbors, people with a shared experience of farming under the same conditions. People learn about and witness the advantages of planting native trees, and while at the end of the day they are free to choose to plant any tree for any reason, the results speak for themselves. Plant with Purpose plant native trees at over 3 times the rate of non-members. This is what it looks like to care for people and planet.